Can imagination change my reality? Hi, I'm Rev Andrew Bozeman, and this is On the Wings of Your Mind. So can imagination change my reality? Well, the answer to that is yes, it can. Our physical world is not a solid, unmovable whole. It is in motion all the time because that solid chair you're sitting in is energy, vibrating energy. Your body is energy, vibrating energy. Everything around you is energy, vibrating energy. It's an illusion. It's vibrating so fast that you're living under the illusion that what you're sitting in and the chair you're sitting in and the world around you is solid and standing still. But actually, it's in motion all the time. It's vibrating so fast that it looks like it's standing still. Just like the blades of a fan that are turning so fast that it looks like the fan is standing still. But if you put your fingers in that fan, then you're going to suffer a severe injury. Oh boy. Side note, I can testify to that last statement through personal experience. One day, many years ago, I was something happened to my car, and I looked under the hood. It's my Chevy. I looked under the hood, and the lighting was pretty bad, I'll admit, but it looked like the fan was standing still, and I thought I saw something down on near the engine block, and I reached for it, thinking that the fan was standing still, only it wasn't. It was moving very rapidly, and fortunately, I had on a pair of heavy leather gloves, so I only got a trip to the hospital and a broken finger instead of a severed finger. When we watch a movie, we're not looking at a steady flow of movement and image. What we're watching is a series of rapidly moving series of still pictures flashing before our eyes. That gives the illusion of moving. So the reality that you see before you is not standing still. It is in constant motion. And since it's in constant motion, it can be changed. Albert Einstein said, imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. Please click on the thumbs up button below, and if you haven't already done so, please choose to subscribe. And remember, I'd love to hear your comments, your questions, your thoughts on any subject. Just use the chat box on the right side of the screen or the comment section below the video if you're using a replay. So, back to the subject. The first thing that has to be impressed upon our consciousness is that everything is in a state of motion, okay, not stationary. Now, the next thing that has to be impressed upon our consciousness is that infinite intelligence is in control of what we see before us, not us. Infinite intelligence has the power to change everything. And it can change everything through us because we are individualized expressions of infinite intelligence. But never forget, infinite intelligence is in control. So as we look around us, we are surrounded by technology, all the wonders of technology. And the truth of the matter is that everything that we are experiencing in technology today is actually pretty new. For example, that flat screen television that we look on, the flat screen panel TV. Those weren't introduced at reasonable prices until 2006, only 14 years ago. I remember at the time, the TV in my house had a 40-inch screen, and it was a large cathode ray tube that was behind that screen, and it was in this big box, big furniture box, and it weighed over 100 pounds. I had to have special stand underneath it to carry that weight, 100 pounds in a box. But as more and more TV stations started to broadcast in high definition, I really found myself imagining what it would be like to have one of those flat screen panel TVs instead of that big box that I was looking at that didn't have enough lines to give me a high def image. So it was kind of blurry, not really that sharp. But I didn't have the money to switch. I didn't have the money to buy one of those new TVs. But then one day, after all my imagining, I got a call from my sister who was moving into a new house. And in her new house, she was going to have a couple of very large flat screen panel TVs. And so she asked me if I would want to have the one that she had before, the smaller one. It was only 40 inches. Only 40 inches. Wow. And I said, yeah, definitely. So I got her older flat screen TV. It was only a couple of years old. And the fact that I didn't have the money was of no consequence because she was giving it to me. And so it was a non-issue, which goes to make another point. Infinite intelligence, when it is responding to your imagination, when it is making changes in your life, it doesn't matter how restrictions or what restrictions there may be. I didn't have any money. It's no problem for infinite intelligence. It found a way to get me a flat screen TV without me having to pay for it. Now, a lot of people tell me that they can't use imagination because they have a hard time visualizing in their mind. Their minds do not create pictures in their head. So imagining for them is not something that they can do. So they believe. But if your mind is like that, let me assure you that imagination is not limited to your ability to see pictures in your mind. Not at all. Imagination involves all of the senses. Your sense all valid expressions of your imagination. So what we need to do is get in touch with those senses in our imagination, the sense of smell, the sense of touch, the sense of hearing, and learn to get acquainted with them so that we can begin to work with them in imagining and changing our lives in the future. So when you use your imagination sense of hearing, actually, when you hear a song in your head that just keeps going, it gets stuck in your head and you can't get rid of it, that's your imagination. That's your imaginary hearing. That's the hearing inside your head, which is part of your imagination. Because you're not hearing it through your ears, you're hearing it in your head. All right? So cultivate that sense in your imagination. Think of sounds in your life. Think of sounds and then recreate them in your mind to help you develop that sense of hearing within your imagination. Think of sounds. The sound of the dishwasher, the sound of a car horn, the sound of a dog barking. You can pick those all up in your imagination. You can recreate them in your imagination. So develop that sense inside your imagination. What about your sense of smell? You ever have a memory where the smell is also there? Well, go back in your memory and see if you can find those memories where there is a smell that is attached to it. Moments where there was a distinct aroma, and focus on that smell. Or you can make a point of smelling things around you in order to develop that sense and paying close attention to how they smell. The fragrance of cut grass, the smell of a Christmas tree, the smell on the inside of a new car, the aroma of pizza. Okay, lock those smells in your mind. Then later, think of those smells and work to recreate them in your mind to help you develop that sense in your imagination. Do the same thing with your sense of touch. Touch things around you, especially things you like. A soft sweater, the feeling of stroking your dog or your cat, the material of your clothes that you're wearing. Lock those sensations into your mind. Then later, think of how they felt and work to recreate them in your mind to help you develop that sense in your imagination, to make your imagination more powerful so that you can begin to use it as a tool. The goal here is to sharpen your senses within your imagination so that you can begin to use your imagination when you want to change your world. Now, I can remember a time I was scheduled to make a speech in front of a university conference, and I had prepared well for the event, but I was still a little uncertain of myself. So in order to make myself relax and look forward to making the speech without all the fear and anxiety, I began to imagine myself making the speech, and after the speech was over, the audience gave me a standing ovation. Okay? So I imagined that I could see them standing up and applauding me. I imagined that I could hear the applause. I imagined the emotion and the excitement and pride that rose up in my chest as I listened to them applaud me. I imagined how big my smile would be on my face as I listened to all this and felt the energy of their applause wash over me. I imagined myself just basking in the glow of all that. I imagined this over and over again. I imagined it. The next day when I delivered my speech, I got a standing ovation. Imagination. It can change your reality. Work on it. Develop it. Learn how to use it, and it will serve you well. Now, tomorrow, what we're going to do, Thursday, we're going to discuss a couple of techniques on how to use your imagination, how to apply it with the help of infinite intelligence to get it to work for you and change your reality. Okay? So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. In the meantime, let's close with prayer. Thank you, Infinite Intelligence. Thank you for bringing us, all of us, together in this life so that we may become spiritual warriors and join in the work we have come here to do. Thank you, Infinite Intelligence, for bringing us into this space of awareness and a deeper understanding of ourselves and our relationship to life and infinite intelligence. Thank you for showing us who and what we really are. We open our minds and our hearts to the truth of our being. We are the children of God. We are individualized expressions of infinite intelligence. And because we are part of the greater whole, we're beginning to understand our value to the continuity of life on this planet. And as we become channels of your power, infinite intelligence, we can feel your presence within ourselves and within our lives more and more. And we know that as we feel your presence within our lives every day, we will rise because we are no longer cut off from you by being immersed in the darkness of fear, anger, and the pain of unforgiveness. So we are now restoring our connection through the grace of forgiveness, knowing that as we learn to forgive ourselves for the pain that we have caused to ourselves, and as we learn to forgive those who have inflicted pain upon us, our connections will grow stronger and our lives will grow happier and healthier and more prosperous. And for this, we are truly grateful. As above, so below. As within, so without. And so it is. Amen. Please click on the thumbs up button. And if you haven't already done so, please choose to subscribe. Remember, I would love to hear your thoughts and your comments and your questions. Please use the chat box on the right side of the screen or the comment section below the video. In the meantime, thank you. Thank you very much for watching. And I will see you tomorrow, Thursday, as we discuss how to apply your intuition. Thank you. I am Andrew Bozeman, and this is on the wings of your mind.